Continuing debate, the Honourable Minister of Human Resources, Skills Development.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And just to let you know, I will be sharing my time with the member from Simcoe Grey. Madam Speaker, the government cannot support this motion, quite frankly, because it is factually incorrect. The changes to EI that we're introducing aim to ensure that Canadians are always better off working than not. And this is why we believe it's important to invest in connecting Canadians with available jobs in their local areas. But first, I'd like to clarify and correct the record, given that the opposition has been, quite frankly, irresponsibly fear-mongering. And based on what I've heard here so far this morning, I think it's time that we got a few facts on the record. Madame la Présidente.
Madam Speaker, these changes are not intended to force people to accept jobs from home. These changes are not intended to make them accept a job that's not suitable for them.
Improving a federal system so that Canadians better understand the expectations of them while they're collecting EI. They are about making sure that Canadian workers are made better aware of the opportunities available to them in their own geographic area. And they are about helping ensure that employers have better access to available Canadian workers before hiring temporary foreign workers. But for a moment, let's look at the big picture. The
economic performance of our country continues to be good in 2012. In fact, some 750,000 new jobs have been created from July 2009 to March 2012, which represents the strongest growth in jobs among all of the G7 countries. Our prosperity, our economic prosperity, however, depends on our ability to meet the emerging and growing challenges of the job market.
Competitiveness, and it depends on our agility. Chief among these challenges are skills shortages. According to Statistics Canada, in the fall of last year, there were 250,000 job vacancies across the country.
We know that Canadians want to work, but often they are facing challenges when they look for work. So what are we doing to help the unemployed to find jobs?
Action Plan 2012, over the next 2 years, our government will invest in connecting unemployed Canadians with available jobs. Jobs that are in their local area and that match their skills, and that maybe these individuals were never aware existed. And as part of our announcement, we'll be sending job alerts twice per day to Canadians receiving EI. And the job alerts will come from many different sources, including the job bank, but also including private sector sources. We will also be linking the temporary foreign worker program with the EI program to help connect unemployed Canadians with available jobs in their skill range in their geographic area. Today, employers are required to provide evidence that they've exhausted efforts to hire Canadians first. And we're simply introducing changes to better connect those employers with Canadians who could be able and available for work. The improvements that we've announced will mean that Canadians receiving EI benefits will always benefit financially from accepting available work. Let me explain, Madam Speaker. When receiving EI, Canadians receive 55% of their maximum weekly earnings. With our improvements, Canadians will never have to accept work that pays less than 70% of their previous income, and that amount can't be below minimum wage. These
changes are rather intended to assist the unemployed and help them get back into the labor market, and to concentrate the resources there where they are most needed, rather.
Canadians who want to work, get back to work. And we're ensuring that all of these changes are grounded in common sense and fairness. and we fully recognize that there are Canadians who are having difficulty finding work, particularly in the off-season, in parts of the country where much of the economy is based on seasonal industries. So let me be clear, Madam Speaker, for Canadians who live in areas of higher unemployment or where the jobs simply don't exist outside the seasonal or specialized industries, employment insurance will be there for them, as it always has been. Madam Speaker, we announced these changes 1 week ago today, and I've been very pleased to see that many employers and workers are standing up to say that these changes to the EI system are needed and they're important. Unfortunately, the opposition continues to mislead Canadians needlessly, creating fear and concern. As I've said before, actions speak louder than words, Madam Speaker, and this opposition motion demonstrates that they're against making life better for Canadians and for their families. They would prefer that we not make any improvements to the system that sometimes actually discourages people from working. And as a government focused on job creation, economic growth, and Canada's long-term prosperity, I stand here today to encourage all members of this House to vote against this flawed, uninformed motion. L'assurance emploi est
Employment insurance is an important system here in Canada, and it will continue to be so. These changes introduce necessary measures, they're sensible, and they will help Canadians get back to work quickly. It's good for the economy, it's good for employers, and it's good for all Canadians and their families.
Madam Speaker, I urge all members of this House to vote against this motion and to support our efforts to connect Canadians with available local jobs. Je vous remercie.
I thank you very much.
Questions and comments? L'honorable
The Honourable